Hello everyone, it's time for Consumer Credit TV and I'm your host Doug Minor, the internet's most passionate credit show. We're here to help you with your credit issues and problems. Today in studio we've got Greg Shanfeld. He's a bankruptcy attorney locally here in Southern California. He is the nicest, best bankruptcy attorney I've ever met.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and he's here to answer some questions for us today. But we're going to basically start off with, hey, what do most consumers and what sort of bankruptcies are they dealing with, Greg?
Well, the most common chapters out there for consumers and what our firm focuses on is Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. Those are the two most prevalent chapters. And Chapter 7 is probably what most people think of when they think of bankruptcy. It's straight bankruptcy, while Chapter 13 is a reorganization where they generally it's a 3 to 5 year plan and they make payments to the court during that period of time.
So when consumers go through, let's say, a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, as most of them it sounds like are doing, what sort of process can they expect and how long do you think it's going to take them to get through that process?
The Chapter 7s are pretty quick and pretty simple and probably a lot less invasive than people expect. Generally, once the case is filed, they have a meeting of creditors or a 341A meeting about 5 weeks after filing. And then generally about 3 to 4 months after that is when their case is discharged and closed.
And then after the discharge date, that's when Greg sends them over to me and I help them fix their credit up.
Absolutely. Yeah, because in all seriousness, people come out of bankruptcy and one of the, a common thing, unfortunately, is that creditors aren't necessarily reporting everything the way they should be. So a professional like Doug is someone who we would gladly refer our clients to make sure that the credit looks like it's in good shape. And
so you've gone through the process. We know the two basic chapters of Chapter 13 and Chapter 7 that most consumers are going through nowadays. What sort of things can they expect to lose or be able to hang on to with respect to whether it's credit card debts or their home? Are they going to be able to keep these things?
Well, that's a question, probably the first question we get most of the time. The good news is that in a Chapter 7, while there are limitations on what we could protect, 95% of the cases are what we call no asset cases. Nothing is liquidated. People get through the process unscathed. And in Chapter 13, assets don't get liquidated. Assets just determine or help determine ultimately what the plan payment may be.
When you say plan payment, how long do they end up having to make payments in these cases?
Generally, the answer to that is 3 to 5 years. Often that's determined by what their income is relative to the median income. But Chapter 13 is an excellent tool to reorganize on your mortgages, and in some instances we can strip off the second mortgage, which is keeping us very busy now.
Can you explain the stripping off part? I don't know if all of our viewers understand exactly what that means.
Sure. Stripping off basically means wiping it out entirely. So in a lot of cases, and if we can show that the value of the home is worth less than what is owed on the first mortgage, we can wipe out or file a motion or sometimes an adversary proceeding, but to wipe out the second mortgage altogether.
Wow.
And it's a great tool and often beats trying to go down the loan modification process.
Oh, interesting. Hey, listen, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have a lot more questions for Greg. Greg, can you let our viewers know how they can get in touch with you if they want some more questions?
Sure. My name's Greg Shanfeld. You're welcome to call my office toll free at 800-958-6760. That's 800-958-6760. Or you can drop us an email at info@thewsfirm.com. That's THEWS as in Sam, FIRM.com.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching. Greg, thanks for being here.
Thanks for
having
me.
And listen, just like everybody knows, you can contact our office at 800-679-1505 or email us with your questions at ecr@easycreditrelief.com. And look for future posts with Greg and I. Greg's going to keep us posted on what's going on with bankruptcy as we move through this new year. Thanks so much for watching.